Hello everybody! How's everyone doing? Just give you guys a second to kind of jump on and say hi when you're here so I can see who's here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. So, it's nice to be back. It's been a while, so trying to get some things caught up here now that we're kind of done with all the Christmas and New Year's and all that. So, my goodness, what a fast, crazy season. My favorite season. But anyway, I have some new things for you guys today. I'm so excited to share this with you. We have a brand new winter warm-up collection that just came out a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but kind of gearing up for Valentine's Day and kind of get past the Christmas stuff. So I wanted to introduce you guys to our brand new mason jar cutouts. These are our wood cutouts that are about 1 inch thick, and they're double-sided. They're already pre-done up. They're wood that have already been painted for us. So let me open this up here so we can see it. But I'm super excited because who doesn't like mason jars, right? So I saw this and I was just like, I cannot wait to do this project. But yeah, look how cute these are. So they are double-sided. So we're gonna do both sides. Like I said, they're 1 inch thick, so you can stand them up on your own. You could get a little stand and you can kind of prop it up, or or however you want to do it, especially if you put it in your kitchen or whatnot and have it on the island, so that way you can see it from both sides, whatever you guys want to do. Or you could hang it up. So many different ideas that you can do. And guess what? We have this adorable, sorry my light's kind of shiny, adorable mason jar transfer. It's called Jar Cutouts Bloom. So because it says bloom here, and I think that's super cute. So you can do one of the on each side. I've seen other videos of gals doing other 5x7 transfers and making have other different wording or pictures or hearts or X's and O's or all kinds of different things on here. So you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. So what I thought I would do today is something fun. So we're gonna start out with the follow your heart side, okay? So, but what I wanted to do first is I'm going to paint the one side here of my jar cutout here. And we're gonna do it in the Couture teal color, which is one of my favorite colors. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put just a little bit of my my paste in my little plate here. And what I'm gonna do is spritz it with just a little bit of water. And that way, just because I want to thin it out a little bit, okay? I'm not going to take very much. I just want to take just a little bit of paste and put it in my little dish here, okay? So it's not very much, just a little tiny bit, okay? And we're going to take some, I have some distilled water in here. Just going to spritz that. Then I'm going to take my little stir stick here, and I'm just going to kind of mix that all around in there, because I just really want to get this nice and thinned out, because I'm going to take my little sponge brush here and I'm going to paint the top side of this wooden cutout with my sponge brush with the thinned out color here. So let me see. I think that's, I'm just trying to get some of those little chunks, but you guys see how it's kind of nice and thin in there? So maybe just a tish more water, because I don't want it to be really super dark. I kind of want to paint the top of this and have it look kind of whitewashed, kind of washed out. So I don't want it to be too dark, but we'll see what happens here. Okay, so again, we're just gonna paint the top part of this here. Okay, and again, just my little spongy brush. You can use a paintbrush, whatever you like. I just kind of want to do just a kind of a faint little brushing here, just so I can kind of color the paint here so it's not all white. So I'm just kind of playing around with it. So I haven't done this one yet because it just literally came in the mail yesterday. So it was here when I got home last night. So I was like, okay, I gotta get online here and I gotta do this for you guys. A little bit more color right through here. I want you guys to see how pretty this looks just by doing a little bit of a tint to the wood. So can you guys see that? I love that. Isn't that pretty? So, so let's put this aside here. And then I'm going to take my little dryer because it's wet chalk paste. I want to just kind of dry this up just a little bit. So you can do this a lot with your different pieces that you have, different surfaces. You don't have to use paint or acrylic paints to color up your backgrounds. You can use the chalk, just thin it down, or you don't even have to thin it down. You can just use the chalk right from the jar if you want to. But it's just another option, especially, you know, since we have such a wide variety of different colors that we can do. So I wanted to show you this. I know it's been a little bit since I've kind of come on, you know, and done different things. So this one kind of gets lost in the translation sometimes. So, but yeah, look at that. I think it's kind of dry. It's not shiny anymore, but look how pretty that is. I love that. And I think it'll be real pretty with the on the background with the follow your heart. So what I'm gonna do is, because I forgot to do it, because obviously I just got these and just opened up the package. I'm gonna say follow your heart. I always like to mark my my transfers, so that way when I am done with the transfer, I know what goes on it when I'm done. So I always will mark it. So this one says bloom and grow. So for those of you who are new, this is a great way to remember that this is the paper side, and then on the other side, let me show you on this one since I'm going to use it, there is a shiny side. This is the glossy side. This is the flat paper side. If you put this sticky transfer on the paper side, this sticky part can stick to the paper and pull off, and then it makes a big mess on the back side of your transfer. So you don't want to do that. You always want to put it on this this shiny side, so that way it comes off real easy. And I just put those aside, and then you just want to give it a little fuzzing. So this is my fuzzing mat, my fuzzing cloth. It has two sides. You can do either side. It does not matter what side that you do, but you just want to put an extra little layer of fuzzing, you know, lint kind of between your project and your transfer to protect. Now, I also want to show you that because this is one of our wood surfaces, we want to wax. We want to use our surface wax. I know right now in the back office, the surface wax is on back order. It will be back at some point, so just watch for posts as to when this will be back. I do have a couple on hand, 2, maybe 3. Not sure, 2 or 3. So if you need one, let me know and I can ship this out to you. Or if you're local, I can you can stop by and pick it up. But just a rule of thumb, when you are using any of our wood products or frames, just put a light little waxing on the frame. Now, even though I just painted this, I am going to wax it because I don't want my transfer pulling up what we just painted on here. So this is also going to protect the wax or the paste that's already here. Okay. So once you put it on there, just a very light layer. You don't need a huge layer on here, just very light. Okay, and since I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and wax the other side since we're doing both sides. So this is just a good rule of thumb to get in the habit of doing, just putting the wax on here. That way you know that your transfers are going to be protected. And that way also, if you make a little boo-boo, then it'll be a little bit easier to clean the mistake up, especially on the wood, because the wood has the grain. And with that grain, a lot of times the chalk paste kind of goes into those grooves, so it's really hard to get up. So that'll also help it from leaking through. Okay, so so now that we got that all done, I'm gonna go ahead and take this here. Let me just make sure this is nice and fuzz, because these new transfers are super sticky. Sometimes they're not as sticky. So you know what? I'm gonna put my eyeballs on, if that's okay. Just so I can see a little better. Kind of getting to that age. But when you get yours, I'll put a cart link in the comments, so that way when you guys go online, you'll have everything that you need in the cart already. But you just kind of want to line it up. Now the wood is going to be a little bit bigger than the transfer markings, so usually I'll just kind of lay it down, and then I kind of hold it up to the light just to make sure I have it even. And if I don't, I just kind of pull it over. I can see I'm kind of more on the right side there. I think that's perfect. Okay, so I need to get a drink of water here real quick. All right, so when you get your transfer on there and it's put in the right spot, you just want, you guys can kind of see behind the light that I put the, how I put the transfer on. You can see the wood behind it. So you know I kind of have that centered on there. I just kind of press it on just to make sure I don't have any bubbles. Press it down to make sure that I've got no, nothing on my transfer. Like there's a little bit of a fuzz that would have prevented my chalk paste from going through in the right spot. So you just kind of want to feel, make sure everything's pressed down, kind of trace around, make sure everything's good to go. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do now, you guys can see that, is I'm going to do white on the outskirts. I'm going to do black for the lettering, and then I'm going to do the raspberry sorbet for the heart, and I was going to use some shimmer gold for the little arrow here. I think that'll be super cute. So all right, so let's go ahead and let's do the heart first. This pretty raspberry sorbet. Look how pretty that raspberry sorbet is. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. It gets so pretty. But because this is a little bit smaller, and I've got little places here, you could do this either free-handed, or I have the placement tape. You can just pick off just a little bit. And what I like to do is kind of block off where I don't want it to chalk paste, because it's super close. I mean, it's really close. It's like right there. And so you can see, I'll hold this up so you guys can see it. So you guys can see how I kind of blocked off the arrow part, because I just want to get the heart here. So I'm going to take my little multi-tool. This is a fun tool that I use because it's a little bit smaller and it gets in the places that I want to get to pretty quickly. And just kind of go in through here and just use your chalk and just make sure you're covering all of the surface area where the silk screens are, okay? And then once you get everything done the way you like it, just squeegee off the excess. Put the excess back in your thing here. Let me see, that's gonna run. Just want to pull this up just a tad, just to make sure everything's looking good, which it does. Then I'm going to take off my tape. Here we go. I'm going to pull this back just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this, because I'm going to put that rest of that tape on the heart, and I don't want it to stick and rub off just yet. So I'm gonna dry the heart just so that it's touchable, so we can do this. Look how cute that looks already. Just that little cute little heart. Okay, I think that's good. Now I'm gonna lay this back down here, and I'm just gonna touch the places that I'm gonna chalk next, okay? So I'm gonna take the other side of my tape, and I'm gonna put it over the heart here, so that way I don't accidentally put the gold on the heart, which I guess if it did, it really wouldn't matter, but there we go. All right, so let's get some of my little shimmer gold here. So this is what the shimmery gold looks like. It's super pretty. And I'm gonna take my my other little multi-tool, and I'm just gonna get this on here real quick. So one thing to know is, you know, especially when you're beginning to do this, you know, you're not gonna be really fast. So just remember to pull up the transfer so it doesn't stick to, so the paste doesn't stick to it and dries, because what happens is if you leave it on there too long, then the paste dries, of course, and the silk screen kind of holds it in place, so that way it's hard to remove, and it sticks. So then when you pull back your transfer, the transfer is the design is actually stuck to the silk screen, so then it doesn't stay on the surface, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to multitask here, guys, so sorry about that. But yeah, so just lift it up. If you see any spots that you missed, just go back, just lay it down before you pull that transfer off and touch it up. It's totally fine to do that. Some people don't realize that you can do that. They just rip off the whole transfer, and it's like, uh-oh, then they see that they missed a spot and they're like, oh man. So yeah, just go back, lay it back down before you pull it up, and make sure you got all the spots that you want, and then you're good to go. So, so I'm just kind of taking my time, kind of going through this right now, just so you guys can see, trying to see in there. Yeah, I think the color of where the arrow is there's some vintagey kind of, they've kind of arrowed it out, so it kind of looks like there's little holes in it. Oops, my thing just came out of the wall. So let me plug this back in here real quick. I couldn't find any in my extension cords because they're still all with my Christmas stuff. So I'm having to stay close to the table here. But yeah, whenever you're using your dryers, just make sure you're pointing the dryer away from your transfer, because if it gets too close, then it will definitely melt, and you don't want that to happen. So, and then before you lay it back down, you want to make sure that that the surface is nice and cooled off, because again, if the surface is going to be really hot and you lay your transfer back down like that, it can melt and destroy your transfer, and then it's not reusable again, and we definitely don't want you doing that. So all right, so let's go on. Let me take these little guys off because we don't need these on here anymore. There we go, put these right here. So let's go ahead and let's do the white, the perimeter. So this is just our bright white chalk paste. So I'm just going to just take a little bit and just kind of work my way around, kind of make sure that you know, everything is nice and even. You want to make sure that all your lines are out of your paste too before you pull it up, because sometimes I've noticed that if there's like little lines where I didn't like make it real nice and smooth, the little lines kind of show up underneath through the silk screen. So unless you like it that way, I mean, some people do, and that's totally fine. It's your creation and you can make it as your own. Always feel free to turn the project. You do not have to have it in the same spot as you're going around, but you do whatever. If you're ambidextrous and can use both hands, then go for it. I know a lot of people that are like that and can use both hands. My left hand sometimes doesn't want to cooperate and do the things I tell it to do, so I'm not as very ambidextrous as I'd like to be at times. But yeah, so once you're done, again, you want to make sure that all the little lines are out. You want to kind of go back through and squeegee off all the extra chalk paste. Make sure everything's nice and not globby, because it will definitely show up when you take the silk screen off. So just kind of go through very gently, very carefully. I think that looks great. All right, so I'm gonna put this back in here. I'm gonna cover this up. There we go. And then I'm gonna take my black. This is our black velvet. It's a brand new one. Let's see how this one is, because this is an older paint. Okay, and I'm going to just take my squeegee here. There we go. And you can, with the chalk paste, you can go in any direction that you need to make sure that all your silk screen is covered. It's a little more picky when you do the ink. It's easier just to go into one direction, so that way you don't accidentally push the ink through and have it bleed. But with the chalk paste, you can pretty much do whatever you'd like. So let me pull this up. I see a little spot that I want to get with my white here. There we go. All right, super duper cute. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this back down on my glossy side of my paper, because I'm not going to wash this off just yet. I'm just going to stick it over there. But here you guys go. Look how cute that is. Follow your heart. Da, 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 da. Super cute. So I need to dry this really well because we're gonna go to the other side next. So you wanna make sure that the paste is nice and dry. So when you flip it to do the other side, you're not gonna be smearing anything. Aw, I love this. But you know, you could also have left it just white like I'm going to do on the other side. So I'm going to show you the difference in what they both look like between the different, you know, the different color background or having it colored. But you could do it any colors you want. You could have actually done it kind of in a grayish color. Anything that you like, you can do. Got some black chalk paste on my fingers, so I want to make sure I get all that off before I touch something else. There we go. Okay, so that looks really good. Here it is, nice and dry. Super pretty, huh? All right, so now let's go ahead and flip it over, and we're going to use the Bloom and Grow on the other side. And we've already waxed it, so it's already ready to go. Okay, and then I'm going to take my transfer. I'm just going to line it up like I did last time. A little bit crooked. Okay, I think that looks really good. So this time what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do the outline in the teal color that I used to paint with, okay? And then I'm going to do guava for the flower. I'm going to use eucalyptus for the leaves and black for the lettering, probably eucalyptus down here for these leaves. And then I'm going to do the outside in the couture teal. So that way kind of has like a little bit of a theme as we go through and do that. So let's see. I'm going to put my raspberry sorbet away. We won't need that. Won't need the white. So we can get rid of this one. There we go. Oops. And the black. There we go. All right, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the black since I'm already here and have it out, since it's still available. I wanna make sure again that all my letters are nice and pressed down. And this one, because it has the little leaves on the side, you have to be a little bit more careful where you're putting your chalk paste, because you don't want to go down too far, because you don't want to cover up those little areas, because I want to make those green with the eucalyptus. Okay, so we're going to do the letter here, and then I'm going to do the and then I'm going to do grow. There we go. Kind of got a lot on that one, so let me remove my excess. So squeegee it on, squeegee it off. It's nice with the newer chalk paste that they came out with this last year, earlier this year, the creamy dreamy paste, because it's so much smoother and creamier than the paste that we've had in the past. So I'm gonna peel this up just to make sure that everything is looking good. And it does. So let's go ahead and move this over so I can dry it. And again, with the dryer, it only takes maybe 20-30 seconds for it to dry, just good enough to where you can touch it, and then you can lay everything back down again. Because if you touch it and it doesn't get on your fingers, then you're good. So let's lay this back down. There we go. And then I'm gonna do the green part here, the leaves. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my detail tool. So this was the tool that I used before, the multi-tool. Here's a detail tool. So you guys can see the difference in the sizes. It's about half the size of the multi-tool, which I think is going to be good to get in here and also in between this little space here. And we're going to do that in the eucalyptus color. And eucalyptus is it's just a really nice light green color. I'm just going to take a little bit of my paste and put that on. Again, you just want to make sure that all of your silk screen is nice and covered. And then kind of remove any of those extra lines that might be in there. There you go. And then kind of come up here. Let's do this one here. Okay, I'll put my extra paste over here. Clean this up here. There we go. Perfect. Let me pull this up just to make sure everything looks good, and it does. Pull this up here. Looks nice. See a little boo-boo that I made. So let's see if I can get that off of here. There we go. It's a little piece of the eucalyptus that was kind of dried onto the lid when I opened it, because I opened the lid over top of this, so it kind of got on there a little bit. So clean that up. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit of that gold out again, and I'm just gonna do these little berries real quick. Okay, and then let's do the flower really fast. And this is guava. This is a really pretty color that kind of gets missed sometimes. Let me get all that extra paste off of there. There we go. Put that back in there. But look how beautiful that is. It's kind of an orangey pinky color, I guess you could say. It's not salmon. It's not pink, it's not orange, it's kind of right in between. So it's kind of a neat color, and it shows up so pretty when you are using it, especially with a white background or a dark background. It just really pops, and it's super pretty. So I wanted to do that because, you know, not everybody likes pink. I know my Kaylee, my youngest daughter, she is not a pink girl at all. She runs from anything that has pink on it. So she's like, no thank you. But I think it's this is a kind of a nice compromise. So let me pull this up here. Super cute. Okay. So I'm seeing a couple spots here that I'm going to go back over with, because it looks like when I dried these earlier, I didn't dry it good. And so some of the chalk paste, when I put the silk screen back down, it kind of stuck to it a little bit. So once it's dry, you can go ahead, and the transfer's still on. So you can definitely go back and do that again. But since the chalk paste has kind of stuck to the silk screen now, it's on there, so it's not going to allow me to put the chalk on there again, because it's already kind of dried on there. So so what I'll do is I'll just kind of spritz it with a little bit of water here after we're done with this part, and clean up those little areas, and I'll just go back over and chalk it again, just so that way it's okay. All right, so let me put this in here. We just need a little bit of this teal. Okay, let me take the black again. Just gonna do a little spot here. See if it'll go through. super fun. Okay, so let me move this over here just for a second so you guys can see that. Let me move this out of the way. So what happened was it was the eucalyptus, that color, that I didn't clean, I didn't dry. I just kept going, and it seemed to dry a little bit quicker than the rest. So I'm just cleaning those areas up. And then what I'll do is I'll just chalk right over them. This is my little board eraser. These are amazing little erasers that helps you clean your transfers when you're done. So like when I'm done, I will take these over to the sink and just wash these off with some water, and they'll be nice and clean for the next round. So if you ever take a towel or anything to your transfers, you want to make sure that it's not a linted towel. So you don't want to take a paper towel or anything like that to your transfers, because it'll really make a big mess. Trying to, probably just best just to wash it all off, because it's just kind of not wanting to do what I want it to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean all this off here. That way I don't have to get chalk paste all over my lint cloth, which I can certainly do that if I wanted to. But this is a simple way to do it. Just, you can water it like I just did here. And then that way you can get you can see how it's starting to come off there. So that works out really nicely. Or you can put it on your towel here, and you could do it that way. Let me just rinse this off just really quickly here, and I'll be right back, just because I made a big mess. And that way I can show you guys what we're doing here, what it looks like. But you just have to use a little bit of water, and it comes right off. So you guys can see how nice and clean that is. Just washed it, just rinsed it with water. You saw me do most of it with my board eraser here. Now, when you do this at home, you'll notice that your darker colors of your paste is going to stain the outside of the transfer, and that's totally fine. What you need to make sure that you do is that you get the silk screen, the white areas, nice and clean. That's the key. That's the most important thing you got to do, is make sure that that's nice and dry and clean before you put it back on your next project. So like with me here, I'm going to try and dry this really good, because I do not want it wet when I put it back on my board there. Because if I put it down and it's wet, then all of this is going to be just a mess. And we don't want that. We do not want that. So that feels pretty good. Let me push this back over here to a dry side. So what you do, you just take your transfer, looks like we got some water on here. I dripped some water on there, I guess. So what I was doing is trying to wash that off there before I put this on. I didn't want to make it make a big mess. So all you do is you just line this back up to where you need it to be. There we go. So I'm just going over this again, just where I knew I kind of messed up a little bit. Nice thing about chalk is it is water soluble, so if you do make an epic boo-boo, which does happen, hello again. Sorry about that, guys. I guess my memory on my phone decided that I was out of room, so it cut my video off. So, and I didn't realize it till I was actually all done. But here is the finished product with the mason jar. Here's the other side. So I think the leaves turned out really nice. I just kind of was, what I was doing was when it cut out was I was finishing up the leaves, and right here on the M there's a little spot that the groove that the chalk paste didn't go in. So I just wanted to show you this all done. It turned out super cute. I absolutely love it. I think this will be a fun project for you guys to do at home or as a workshop or whatnot. So if you're interested in booking your own workshop, let me know, and we can pre-order everything and get it to you guys before the workshop, and I can do them either in person or online. So if you guys are local to me, then I can come to your home and meet you and your friends and teach you guys how to do this, or we can do it online, so via Zoom or Facebook Live or whatever. So that way we can all interact with each other and teach you guys how to do this. But I think it would be super fun to do. So if you're interested, let me know. I will put a link in the comments, so that way you can click on the link. It'll take you to my website, and it'll have all the wood cutout and the transfer and some of the colors that I use that are available right now online. The multi-tool, the squeegee, those kind of things. So you can take away or add whatever you want, because I know some of you already have some things at home, but you can add to it if there's other things you want to get or not. Or, you know, take away, add, whatever you want to do is totally fine. But I also wanted to remind you that I do have a workshop coming next month, January, on the 29th, the last Saturday of the month. I just got the kits in the mail. These are going to be super fun. These are the Welcome Home and Love is in the Air. So as you can see, there are 4 blocks of the 1-inch size wood. There's also a little rectangular block, and there's these super cute little heart and a little house cutout that you will glue onto the boards wherever you guys want them. It comes with the little dishes for your chalk paste. Comes with a chalk paste. Comes with a brush. There's a paintbrush in here. You guys can see that, so you can paint the the wood. Comes with the transfers, everything that you need. There's a squeegee in here, everything that you need. So if you are interested, in the comments, let me know, and just say workshop for January, and I will send you the link of the form to fill out, so that way you can either pre-order it or order it from me if you're coming local to the workshop on the 29th of January at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, because I'm in California. So anyway, just wanted to remind you, because I know it's been real crazy over the holidays. We still have time to order. I forget the date, but I know it's the first week of January you guys have. So you guys have another week, week and a half, 2 weeks or so to order these, so we can get them in time before the end of the next month, okay? So if you have any other questions, just let me know. And it was really good to see you guys again, and I'm gonna try my best to come online and do some more videos. It's just been hard working full time and doing everything, you know, you guys know how it is. But I will do my best to get on here a couple times a week and do some videos for you, just to see what's out there. And always, if there is something that you see me do and you want to purchase it, it's always for sale. And or if you want me to do a custom one, then I can always do it in the colors that you'd like to do, and then I can send it off to you, or you can come pick it up. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you guys soon. All right, bye.